their calendar as well. Mr. Jury, are you still here?
I am, Your Honor.
So we're going to do this. We'll do this case, and then if the Harrises don't appear at the end of this case, then that'll be dismissed. It'll be, I'm not sure how long this will take, but it's 20 after 9. The Harrises haven't appeared yet, and then we'll see what happens in about when we're done with this hearing. And if this hearing goes on too long, then I might stop it. I'm not going to make you wait here all morning.
All right,
So,
thank you.
The Stevenses come on the Zoom call. Great. So you can unmute. So who's going to speak first?
Your Honor, my husband would speak first, and then I would just go real quickly after him if we could both be sworn in.
Okay. And so, actually, just a second. Before we start, I'm going to say a few things to everybody. And that is, you're here, either you're asking for or someone's asking for an anti-harassment order of some kind against you. Harassment is defined as a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person. It seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person, and that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress and must actually cause substantial emotional distress to the petitioner. Course of conduct is a series of acts over a period of time, however short, evidencing continuity of purpose. Course of conduct includes any form of communication, contact, or conduct. And with those things in mind, Mr. Stevens, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead. So Mr. Bottenberg has an attorney, and so I'm going to hear from you. The attorney may or may not ask you some questions. I should also say the Bottenbergs and some people on their behalf or his behalf have filed some declarations in the file. I don't know whether you had a chance to review them or not, but in any case, go ahead. How is it that you folks need an order against Mr. Bottenberg?
Hi, Your Honor. We submitted video evidence regarding the case, and I believe the actions in the video speak for themselves. He did not merely just flash his weapon. He pulled the handgun out of his front waistband, held up to his chest and down to his side on our front doorstep. And the weapon was clearly still out even after Marissa retreated into the house. He taunted us by saying, quote, "Don't even try with me," end quote, and continued to yell taunts even after both of us had retreated into the house. And those are not actions of someone who's merely trying to defend. He severely escalated the situation by showing that he was readily willing to use lethal force. And in both statements that they submitted to the court, there appears to be no remorse, regret, or contrition over his actions. And that is why we are seeking this civil protection order, Your Honor.
And then Ms. Stevens, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
And go ahead.
I want to speak on behalf of the voice that matters most to me today. My daughter saw the respondent, a neighbor, pull a gun on her mother and father on her own front doorstep. You can see her in the video watching from the window. And the trauma we face as a family is real. While my daughter is healthy, happy, and resilient, her screams of "Daddy, he has a gun. Mommy, we have to move. Can we move right now? He's going to kill us," will haunt me for the rest of my life. In fact, just last night, we were watching an episode of I Love Lucy with a prop gun, and my daughter ran screaming from the living room, saying to change the channel because she has anxiety just seeing the gun, even though we told her it wasn't real. This was solely caused by the respondent's reckless decision to readily display a lethal weapon at our home. I've had to watch the video recording of this incident too many times in preparation for this. And my fear is palpable in the video, but you don't know what I'm thinking as I screamed to call the cops and ran into the house. I didn't know what he was doing with his gun, but I just prayed that I would get inside before he shot me in the back or shot my husband. This has been one of the worst experiences of our lives, and we've had to take time off work, help our daughter address her pain and suffering, postpone activities, and essentially put our regular lives on hold as we process the effects of being victims of a crime at what should be our most sacred haven, our home. Thank you.
Ms. Ganem, I guess I should have, yeah, you can start. I should have asked you before Ms. Stevens testified. Do you have any questions you wish to present to Mr. Stevens?
No, I have no questions, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Stevens?
I do not.
Okay. And then do you wish to have your Mr. Bottenberg's here? I've reviewed, there's declarations in the file. I've reviewed them. And then do you wish to have him testify or I can?
No, Your Honor. We'll we'll rely on our written declarations as well as any exhibits that have been filed by the petitioners.
Okay. And then I'll hear argument from, I think I can characterize what was phrased by Mr. and Ms. Stevens' argument. I'll hear your response to their position as to why they wish to have an order.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do agree with Mr. Stevens. The video does speak for itself. I think the video is the best sort of objective attempt to understand what was going on, keeping in mind that both parties have their own interpretation of what happened. Whereas this is a single threat of violence, we do feel that this did serve a legitimate purpose. Mr. Bottenberg was sort of hanging off, observing on the outskirts, his wife addressing an issue between the children, his daughter and Mrs. Stevens. I would note that Mrs. Stevens actually made an attempt to give space between the two parties. She had stood off, sort of off the front porch, created the space to have a verbal conversation about this incident between her daughter and Mrs. Stevens. I think throughout the video, you can see that the conversation escalates and it's escalating. You can see Mr. Stevens approach and you can kind of see Mr. Bottenberg approach. But they did, I can tell, choose to just let the two women sort of talk this out, but it was obviously escalating and nothing that Mr. Bottenberg did was not provoked or anything, except for he was a mere bystander, kind of coming closer as voices were rising. But it wasn't until Mrs. Stevens sort of aggressively approached Ms. Bottenberg that he then stepped in an effort to protect his wife. I guess what is helpful to put his actions into context is that Mrs. Bottenberg was actually recovering from a pretty invasive surgery she had less than a week ago. It required a lot of stitches in the abdominal area. So he was concerned that any quick movements, any physical contact, anything like that could make that situation worse. So he stepped in, did what he did. I think it's all on video. But the second the threat was gone, he stopped and everybody left. So I guess the issue is whether
I'm going to stop you there, but as I review the video, and I did review the video, the minute that gun was visible, Ms. Stevens ran off. It wasn't like
she did
in terror.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Then,
I'll continue.
Yeah. And then at that point, the firearm was put away and then everybody left. He didn't point it at anybody. He didn't wave it around. It wasn't out for an unreasonable amount of time. I believe his position that he was in, his actions were reasonable to stop the imminent threat that he saw toward his wife. And so, Your Honor, based on that, based on our position that his response to the aggressive approach of Mrs. Stevens toward his wife, given the perceived imminent physical harm that could have happened, he stepped in, tried to protect his wife, And then once the threat was gone, everybody left, everybody was done. Based on that, we feel that is a legitimate purpose for having done what he did, and we'd ask the court to deny the petition.
Okay. So earlier I gave definitions and included course of conduct, which is a series of acts over a period of time. Unlawful harassment, I talked about a knowing and willful course of conduct. There's another provision of the unlawful harassment definition, which reads as follows: a single act of violence or threat of violence directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, harasses, that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. And again, the rest of the language is the same. A single threat must include malicious intentional threat is defined in different, or the presence of a firearm or other weapon. So I am able to issue an order based on the single act here. In reviewing, and Mr. Bottenberg in his declaration indicated, as you just stated there, Ms. Ganem, that this was, in self-defense. He was concerned about his wife just having stitches. But as I read through all declarations and that were filed, as well as reviewing the video, and in the law on self-defense is, or defense of others, the force used may employ such force and means as a reasonably prudent person would use under the same or similar circumstances that appear to the person, taking into consideration all the facts and circumstances known to the person at the time. And as I watched the video and I listened to the testimony and review the affidavits, there are 100 ways to de-escalate that situation short of pulling a gun, frankly. And the pulling a gun in a situation like that, which was emotional, and Ms. Stevens did step through the door and step onto it, but it didn't look to me like a fight was about to break out. And I would find that essentially the pulling of the gun was a display of power to intimidate and scare one or both of the Stevens, and it kind of worked. And so I don't find that what he did with that firearm in that particular instance was lawful force. I'm going to grant the order. The order is going to be in place for 1 year. As part of that order, he's not to have, own, possess, or have under his control any firearms for the year. And then at the end of the year, if Stevens feel it necessary to renew this order, they can come back and ask the court at that time. But the default position is a year, and that's what's going to happen here today. One thing I did want to talk about is in his declaration, he talked about how he had to pull the kids out of school and things like that. I don't read the order that way. There was not a distance restriction. It's not that he has not have any contact with or come within 1,000 feet. That was in there. That's not there because they, I can't enter an order that makes someone leave their home, as you know, and I'm not doing that here. He's just not to have contact them, and he's not to have any firearms, and that's it. And so I don't see any reason why his kids can't go back to the same school that they were in. He indicated they were homeschooled and he couldn't go there, and I'm not going to craft an order in that manner. He can't have any contact with either of the Stevens, but there's not a distance restriction there. He's not to come onto their property. And that's the other thing that I wanted to mention in my earlier ruling that I neglected to, but this was on the Stevens property. The Stevens didn't go to Mr. Bottenberg property. They come onto their property. And, the best way to de-escalate was just to turn around and walk away. But so that's going to be my order in this case. And I'll stay on here for a minute. So the order will go through October 21st of 2025. So it's going to mirror in the temporary order in that the petitioner is not to cause any harm, don't have any contact, don't engage in stalking behavior like filming or anything like that, which you're following someone around or anything like that, and then just basically don't come onto the premises of the protected person, but persons here, residents, or workplace. And again, I didn't check the residence, daycare, or school, so I don't see any reason why, I mean, if there's additional problems arise, we may be back here, but I don't think that he, and it wasn't my intent, because I actually remember this case. I did the temporary on this as well. It wasn't my intent that he had to pull his kids out of school, but that's going to be it for today. And again, I'm also going to sign an order that, to prohibit firearms. And I think, he has already surrendered those. Is that correct, Ms. Bottenberg? Or Ms. Ganem? I meant to speak to you.
Yes, he's already surrendered all that.
And right now, that order will expire. Hang on just a second. Again, also a year from today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to do one more thing, and then Mr. Yeagley, you can come on with the Smithlins. Are they with you, or are they just?
They are present.
They're in a
on
different
the
location. There they are. Great. And then the Austins. All right. So give me a minute here. I'm going to finish up on something on a different case.
And then I just wanted to inquire the court before we started, Your Honor. So
Go ahead there. If it was a late filing, I didn't see it because I was looking at this over the weekend. And go.
I just wanted to clarify, there were two things. One, we did file a response packet with the court on Friday afternoon. I wanted to be certain that the court had received that and reviewed that.
The court may have received it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah, that's an issue. And then the Austins filed a police report related to the September 4th incident. Apparently this morning, or at least I received it this morning. And frankly, Your Honor, if I had received the police report myself from the police in advance of this, I would have filed that with my own response packet. And I think it's important that the court review both our response packet and the police report as it relates to this incident.
All right. Give me just a minute here.
So if that's
I'm going to finish one, and then I'm going to look here because I haven't seen any of that either.
Okay.
All right. Is that in the file now? It is. Okay. So I guess I was wrong. We're not going to be able to take this up now because it's not even in the file now. So that puts you in the position of the Rawlings. Have you?
No resolution, and I have to go over and attend the Lacey matter at 11, but that shouldn't take long. I was wrong.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me look and see what's been filed, see how long it is. Yeah, we don't have anything. We don't have it in the Rawlings thing either. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with these cases, but nothing right now because they're not even in the file now. But what next case we're going to take is, and then it's the same thing. I'm going to have to come back on this later. Well, one thing that we could do is, well, what time is it? I don't really want to do that. No, I was going to say we come back this afternoon, but I would really like to finish this calendar this morning so we don't have to come back. And, but I do want to read all that stuff. And so, you were going to say something?
My client would prefer to be, if Your Honor thinks it's possible to be done today. Yeah.
It's going to be done today. There's no question about that, but it might not be till the afternoon.
And that's tough in my client's work schedule. Your Honor, could you do you hear this while you're still on bench hearing these next week?
Where's Mr. Kean? That week's probably pretty big, isn't it? Again.
Yeah. I
Yes,
did get the case file.
Which one? In the okay.
Yeah.
And did you get them in on the ones on the Smithlin Austin thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Give me just a second. Okay, so that takes care of that case. So Mr. All right, let's see. What file did you file the stuff in there, Mr. Yeagley?
I instructed our paralegal to file. It's basically an identical packet in each one of these individual cases. So one for Mr. Smithlin and one for Miss Smithlin. And
but it's the same thing. It's 51 page thing.
That's correct, Your Honor. It's several declarations, declarations from my clients and then a few other individuals. and then mostly some court orders that probably won't take too long to review, and a CAD log as it relates to the September 4th incident. And
Right.
then the Austins filed a police report for that incident as well. That, frankly, if the court doesn't have that, I would file that on my own as well.
I don't have that. We don't have that either. When did you file that there, Mr. and Ms. Austin?
This morning. We got Mr. Yeagley's file on Friday afternoon, and so this was the first opportunity to submit the
All right.
report.
But when did you do it?
This morning at 8:30.
Okay. Did you see that? Then there's an, all right. No, I understand it. There's Eric and Tabitha Blacksmith. What case are you here for?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here for anti-harassment order continuance against Mr. Vernon.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we don't have the file. Mr. Yeagley, thank you for your patience. If in fact you've been patient, Mr. and Ms. Austin, Mr. and Ms. Smithlin, you can go ahead and mute up here for a bit. It's going to take me a minute. I think, again, given what I looked through that, some of this stuff I can get through pretty quickly. So I'm going to take care of some of these other folks. And then I'm probably going to step off for a minute, but I think we can get this taken care of this morning.
Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Mr. Blacksmith, you could come on the Zoom, back on the Zoom call, please. Mr. Vernon, come on up and take a seat. What's that? No, it will not. Thank you. So, Mr. Blacksmith, looks like an order was entered a while ago,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you're asking to renew the order.
Yes, sir.
And this is a neighbor of yours, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. He's shaking his head no.
He lives
So-
approximately 500 and some odd feet from my house, Your Honor. So
Quarter mile, Your Honor.
Okay, so hang on, I heard, as I said to other people, if two people are talking to me, I'm not gonna be able to understand either one. So
Sorry.
Mr. Vernon, I promise I'll give you a chance to respond, but I'm gonna swear in Mr. I asked those questions before I swore him in, and I'm gonna swear him in now, and then I'm gonna ask him why he thinks the order should be renewed. Then I'll give you a chance to tell me why you think
Thank you.
not.
Thank you.
So Mr. Blacksmith, can you raise your right hand, please?
yes, sir.
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Why should this order be renewed, reissued?
Okay, let me get to my paperwork here. I'm waiting for the page to load on here. Oh, here we go. Okay. My apologies, Your Honor. I'm trying to get my computer figured out here. The seriousness of Michael Vernon's aggressive behavior and threats of violence prior to the issuance of this protection order, his continued harassment and unchanged hostility towards me merit a renewal of the court's finding that he is a credible threat and should be ordered to stay away from me and my residence indefinitely. I want the renewed order to stay in place permanently. Let's see here. Michael Vernon, the respondent, has continued to harass me by displaying signs on his house and property containing threatening statements designed to intimidate me and malicious and defamatory statements about myself and my wife, Exhibit 1. And in Exhibit 1, I have some of the photographs that have been taken of his home and the signs. The respondent has also slandered me to my neighbors, and in Exhibit 2, I have a statement from one of my neighbors who had actually spoken directly with Mr. Vernon. I believe that the respondent displays these signs because he is, 1, fixated on me, 2, hopes to provoke me into some kind of altercation, 3, seeks to punish me for obtaining a protection order, and 4, lacks self-control. The respondent's behavior demonstrates an unchanged attitude towards me that is concerning, given his history of unprovoked physical attacks and threats of gun violence. I have not driven by the respondent's house for an entire year, going well out of my way to avoid any conflict. Yet he still bears a grudge, which shows the respondent is incapable of change on his own and needs the guardrails of the court in order to keep him from engaging in foolish and aggressive behavior that could end tragically for everyone. Past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. With the background information, as a reminder, the respondent engaged in 2 unprovoked acts of first aggression against me on July 21st, 2023, while I was driving my 3-wheeled motorcycle on the street public right-of-way near his house, including forcible restraint, assault, threats of violence, and gun violence, hate speech, and an attempt to disarm me. The respondent's rationale for the attack stemmed from his irrational belief that I was speeding past his house, despite his lack of formal training and ability to measure my speed, and decision to take the law into his own hands. On September 22nd, 2023, the respondent engaged in 2 more instances of unprovoked aggression against me using his vehicle. The first time he drove by and verbally harassed me and my visiting friends while I was in my front yard. Later that day, he repeated his behavior and attempted to assault me with his vehicle. For my part, I called law enforcement both times. Responding deputy on 7/21/2023 told the respondent it was not his job to enforce the speed limit. I had the option to press charges, but allowed the respondent to apologize instead. However, I was forced to obtain a protection order after the other 2 incidents on 9/22/2024 made it clear that the respondent was dangerous, mentally unstable, and would continue his harassing behavior. The fact that he came to my house was a clear escalation. The respondent admitted to the 4 incidents in court on November 6, 2023, although he made excuses for his behavior. The judge concluded that the respondent's claim I was speeding was not credible given the short distance between intersections and his lack of training, and told the respondent his actions were foolish. And in fact, the judge had called Mr. Vernon directly, said that he was foolish and that his actions were foolish. Let's see here. The judge concluded the respondent's claim I was speeding was not credible. Okay, I said that. His sign harassment campaign started in earnest about a month later and has continued until present. Throughout this process, I have learned that the respondent has a history of 1, threatening and bullying people in the neighborhood, see written statements submitted with original petition, and 2, harassment, May 5th, 2005, Tumwater Municipal Court, offense code 9.16.120, case number, and then big old long case number after it. Which you have there probably with you. And I'd like to read the impact of harassment on the petitioner. Even though I have every right to walk or drive down the public road in front of the respondent's house and do so unmolested, I haven't walked or ridden my motorcycle in my neighborhood for a year because I don't feel safe. And in fact, I've not ridden my motorcycle since the last incident that had occurred. Let's see here. I haven't because I don't feel safe. In the interest of avoiding conflict, I have also consistently bypassed the respondent's house when driving and have taken a less convenient alternate route for the past year. Imagine having to give up your enjoyable activities and walk on eggshells in your own neighborhood because your neighbor is harassing you. To feel safer in my own home, I just purchased an expensive $4,500 security gate for my driveway. Yet the signs remain up and the respondent eagerly spreads lies about me in my neighborhood. My quality of life has been diminished by this continued harassment. In addition to this very real physical danger posed by the respondent's hostility towards me, which disrupts my peace and makes me feel unsafe in my own home and neighborhood, this situation has caused me to suffer from anxiety, insomnia, and nightmares. These conditions have been greatly aggravated by the prospect of the court not renewing this protection order because I perceive the respondent is still a threat and believe that he will resume his unlawful behavior of trying to assault me if a renewal is not granted. And then I have my exhibit list. The first exhibit that I have, the first 5 photos were taken on 12/8/2023, 1/26/2024, and 1/28/2024, respectively, and provided to me by concerned neighbors. The last 2 photos were taken by my wife on 10/2/2024 and 10/4/2024. Below, I've summarized what the signs mean in the context of the respondent's past comments and provided other details that might be helpful to the court. First one, we have a coward from Desert Storm on the hood on Gregory.
You don't need to repeat those. I could see the picture.
Thank you.
And those are the ones that were up in October?
They were up in October, and they'd actually been up for quite a while. He did put up other signs as well, but my neighbors didn't stop and take pictures of all of them. In fact, at one point, I had told people, don't put yourself in any danger by taking pictures of the Mr. Vernon's home. Don't engage with them. I want him to be left alone. Yeah, and some of the signs, I'm aware of some of what they said, some of the signs that he had up that I don't have pictures of. At one point, he had a sign up that had said, where's Benedict Arnold, alluding to why I've not, been in his neck of the neighborhood. Well, I've been respecting his space and leaving him alone, and I don't want to anger him by driving in front of his house.
Let me hear from, again, I reviewed, you repeated a lot what was filed. Let me hear, I'm going to swear in Mr. Vernon, and then I'm going to hear from him, and then I'll make a decision as to whether or not the order will be extended for a year. So could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And you can stay on keep your camera activated there, Mr. Blacksmith. You can put your hand down. And so, yeah, so he's asking to extend the order for a year. What's your position on that?
Well, everything he just said was a lie. I haven't seen this guy. Well, this is the first time I've seen him since a year ago, November 6th in court on video.
Right.
Like I told Judge Buckley back in 6 when I was asked about why I put signs up like this. It's called the First Amendment.
No, I know.
And Judge Buckley said he wasn't going there. I had neighbors that lied about my dog and they had it murdered. So I made signs calling him all kinds of names.
Right.
This guy says I threatened him with a gun, Your Honor. I didn't have a gun. He had the gun on him.
Okay, so you don't need to raise your voice at me. I'm
Okay,
right
I'm
here.
sorry. But
Okay.
Judge Hoopman or whoever it was a year ago would not read what my two neighbors saw him doing. When Sybil said that she was scared he was going to shoot me with his gun. I backed off like this. I can't raise my right arm because my right shoulder's gone. My left hand's broke. I can't make a fist. This is the best I can make a fist.
Okay.
And my signs are all, none of them have his name on them. None of them have his address on them. I'm doing my First Amendment.
Right.
Now, the thing that started this is when Israel was invaded October 7th of last year. I have a good friend that was a judge here 20 years ago, 18 years ago, who was Jewish. I have a brother that I call my big brother who's dead now. He was Green Beret and he was Jewish. This Israel sign was put up and I put my dead brother's flag down that said, kill them all, let God sort them out, referring to Israel.
Okay, so I'm not.
Well, he
Okay,
came after
okay,
me for
okay,
this
just-
Israel
just-
sign and to kill them all, let God sort them
Okay,
out.
just a minute. You said you haven't seen him for a year.
I've never seen him.
Okay. Then I guess what's the issue with extending the order? I mean, wouldn't you guys want to stay apart from each other? Wouldn't that be a good thing?
I don't want an order on me. I'm due for 2 operations. They just found out a week ago, the day I got this thing served to me.
Right.
I have a thing in my aorta, one of those aneurysm things.
Go
I
on.
have to have my nose broke here next month because it got broke 12 years ago when I passed out from dehydration and broke it. I can't breathe out of it. Plus, I want my gun rights back. You guys took 2 guns. One was my son's, one was my daughter's. I didn't know these 2 guns were in my house until 2 years ago when we removed my gun safe and they were making noise in them. My guns have been out of my house since 1990. This is a lot of stress on me for something I didn't do. I wish the court would read what my neighbors said that they saw that day. On June 22nd of 2023 at 10:07 in the morning. I went down to his house September 21st, but I didn't know that was his house because some kid stopped in the car and it turned out being his son and he was throwing garbage in my driveway. Now, Lieutenant Tarver, who used to be a sheriff at this place, and I think he's dead now, was one of my neighbors. And he always told us the way to handle the speeders that we have is get a license number and an address and try to talk to them. This guy was doing 50, 60 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood. And all I wanted him to do was slow down. We've had 3 kids hit in front of my house in 45 years. And it's not pretty watching a kid bounce off a bumper and hit the asphalt. I did not threaten this man with a 44 Magnum. I said, you made my day because 22 years ago, 2 GIs pulled a gun on me down in the neighborhood because they were speeding and throwing beer cans all over the road. And they paid for it. But I never threatened them.
Did you have something you want me to read?
Yes, sir, I do.
Could you hand it forward, please?
May I come up?
Yes.
There's 2 pages from 2 different of my neighbors.
All right. Give me just a moment.
Yes, sir.
I've reviewed this. Did you want this to go into the court file?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can.
Your Honor, I have 2
Okay.
kids.
So hang on just a second. Just a second, okay? This is a pretty simple thing here we're asking.
Yeah, I
right?
understand that.
And whether this order that's been in place for a year is going to continue for another year and all of that. That's the only thing I'm here for right now. And so I've reviewed that. You know, I've listened to you speak. I've listened to Mr. Blacksmith, and I'm sorry to hear about your health issues. Sounds like that's a
My
serious
daughter
thing.
was murdered. My son killed himself. Okay, that's why I have health issues.
Okay,
I don't even
Okay.
go to my children's cross that was put up in the neighborhood because of the threat of him calling. He called the cops on me on January 20th for riding my bike at nighttime in the rain, which I don't ride. My hand's broke. I can't ride my bike. I haven't rode it since 15. He keeps calling the cops on me. I got a neighbor that does it. He doesn't like my signs. He says it depreciates his house. There's Muslims down the road. Those garage
okay,
doors.
so
I know it.
That doesn't matter, okay? It just doesn't matter. I mean, those signs, and you're right, you have a First Amendment right to do that.
I'm not bothering him. I don't talk to him. I haven't seen him. I don't call him. I don't know his number. I just want my freedom back.
So Mr. Blacksmith, he said, he says you've called the police on him several times. Is that accurate? Not, or why?
I called the police on him during the first incident, the first couple of incidents, and then 2 times when we drove by with this car, made contact with me in front of my home.
And what do you do at that point?
Well, when he got when 911 was dialed by one of the bystanders, that's when he got angry, sped down the road, lost control of his vehicle, went into one of the neighbors' yards, restarted it back up after he stalled it. It went into another neighbor's yard, and then he drove up the side the 15-foot right of way. And it was my belief he was going to strike me with his vehicle.
When did that happen?
That was the very last incident that I had read off on the paperwork right there.
I know, but what was that before or after the order was entered?
That was before the order was entered. Yeah. Since the order has been entered, I only called the police once on him, and that's he drove by on his motorcycle and revved his engine really hard. It was relatively harmless, other than documenting it for court purposes. I called the police so that, I had, a record. We looked at the video. The police looked at the video. It was indeterminate if it was Mr. Vernon, but his bike does have a unique note to it, and he most certainly is not telling the truth when he said he does not ride his motorcycle. In fact, one of my neighbors, just before he got restationed in Indiana, had seen him pulling into his parking lot on his motorcycle. So Mr. Vernon is not exactly telling the truth. He does occasionally ride his motorcycle.
I'll allow you to respond to that.
Your Honor, I haven't rode my bike since they found me almost dead in my house in 12/21. I blew the shoulder out on 6 when somebody hit me on my bike, and it looked like they were going to total me out. So I stood up on my stirrup and I put my body between the car and my bike, and my shoulder took it. I can't do much more than this with my arm. I ride my bike to the gas station periodically to put fuel in it. That night, the sheriff called me on January 20th or the 22nd, a little after 9, and started asking me if I was riding my bike. I said, no, deputy, but you can come over here and touch my bike and see if it's cold or hot. He never showed up. This guy tried shooting me with his gun, Your Honor. And now he's trying to say that I'm the one that threatened him with a gun. I would never threaten anybody with a gun. And I'll tell you how. In 1990, on March 26th, my kid's mother got tied up with a felon. He talked her into kicking me out for molesting my children and sexual abuse to her. 2 weeks later, I was given my kids back. I won custody of them January 8th, and they were kidnapped by their mother and this man. My boy was dumped off on the street, and my daughter was taken. We didn't see her for 3.5 months. I raised my kids. 10 years, 8 months later, my daughter was butchered down the road from the house, stabbed 19 times. It was horrifying. And my son, shortly after that, because the mother was not allowed to go to the funeral, and she never went to his. Now, I've had problems, but I'm not a psycho. I don't bother people, and I think my letters my neighbors gave you will instigate that, tell you that. I don't bother nobody. We've had problems with speeders in our neighborhood for a long time. And when I drove the car down there on September 21st of 23, it was to get a license number. And he yelled out 4 times when he saw it was me, how are your dead children? That's why I drove up on those neighbors' lawn, because I was puking in a Walmart bag because he said that. And I went home, and I've never been back to that part of the neighborhood since. I don't go visit any of my friends. I stay on my end of the neighborhood. This guy's trying to keep me in trouble. I know what restraining orders are and what they do.
Okay. You're not in trouble. You said that there was a cross you're not able to visit. Where is it? You said, I thought I heard you say there was a cross that you're not able to visit.
Yeah, the kids put cross up for where my daughter was butchered, and then they put my son's name.
Where is that?
Well, when you go where my street is,
Okay.
9th Way.
No, let's assume for the moment I'm not familiar with the neighborhood.
It's a quarter mile away from his house.
Okay. So, Mr. Blacksmith, are you aware of this cross? Do you know what he's talking about?
I am, Your Honor. And in fact, the cross is not on the same street that I'm at.
Okay. So hang on just a minute, just a minute. Can he visit this cross without violating the order as it stands now?
Yes.
Absolutely, Your Honor, you can.
Yeah.
But people that have orders like he has on me, if he would have been driving out of the other entrance of the neighborhood, he would have been calling you people.
Okay.
This is what I want to prevent.
Okay.
I don't want to die right now.
So, okay. Mr. Vernon, here's going to be my ruling in this case. Okay. So I've heard you speak. I've listened to your testimony. I've read you what you reviewed, which was apparently pertinent to the original order that was entered. That order was entered. The only thing in front of me here today is whether or not this order is going to be extended for another year. And based on everything I've heard, the testimony, I'm going to grant the order. I'm going to grant the request. It's going to be ordered it's going to continue for another year.
Well, then you might as well throw me in jail right now, because I'm not going to go another year of this kind of stuff.
Okay, so hang on just a minute. I'm not going to throw you in jail right now.
No, I'll drive by his house when I go home.
Okay, so
I'm not putting up with this no more, Your Honor. Judge Buckley says I have the right to express my First Amendment right, and that's what I'm doing.
You do.
I don't have no signs with his name on it.
Okay.
None.
Okay.
I haven't been to that part of the neighborhood at all.
Okay. So if you want a copy of the renewal order, you can have it, but that'll conclude the hearing for today, or you can
So
get a
you're
copy
going to
of it.
do this to me again.
I didn't do it. I'm not doing anything.
What did
to
I
you.
do wrong? I haven't visited this guy. I don't have a cell phone. I don't even know his number.
Okay.
Why are you doing this to me again?
Okay.
I have to go in for an operation, and now I'm going to cancel it today when I go home.
Okay. Well, I don't think you should need to do that or should want to do
I'm not
that.
going to live this way anymore.
Okay. Well,
Call your deputies and have them follow me home, because I'm going to his house. This is wrong, Judge.
Okay.
Judge Buckley wouldn't have done this to me.
Okay. You can take that if you want it, and you're free to go.
Your Honor, is there
You're free
something
to leave
I
the
should
Zoom
do?
call. What's that?
Is there something I should be doing if he's going to show up at my door?
I'm not going to, I'm not really in position to give you advice. I don't. You asked me to extend the order, I did, and then, you saw his reaction, and, we'll see where we're at. But I can't
I understand, Your Honor. I understand.
I can't give you advice.
I'm just frustrated. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're free to leave the Zoom call.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Who we got? So Austin's can come on the Zoom call. So can Smithlin, so can Mr. Yeagley. Mr. and Ms. Austin can come on the Zoom call.
Sorry about that. We're here.
Okay. So, I've reviewed your petition, which I have in front of me now. I reviewed the response filed by Mr. Yeagley on behalf of the Smithlins. You can correct me if I got this wrong or right. It looks like Mr. and Ms. Austin, you have, if I get this right, you have a daughter. The Smithlins have a son. They have a child together. There's a parenting plan in place. And from Smithlin's point of view, this parenting plan hasn't been followed. When they show up at your house that you complain about, it's to try and get this parenting plan followed. And on the date in question, your daughter took off with the child, and that created the controversy. And this has been an ongoing problem for quite some time.
Right.
So is that the Reader's Digest version of what's alleged here? So I'll hear from you. What's your position on all of this?
Well, the most recent incident of hostility was on September 20th. The Smithlins pulling guns on a third-party professional process server from Greyhound Legal trying to serve them, which she never got out of the car and showed no threat. I submitted her email refusing to serve them because she felt her life was threatened. These people are bullied. When they tried to serve earlier, their son appeared hostile on September 13th, and that email was submitted.
Okay, so hang on just a second. So let's refrain from name calling, first of all. And secondly, this parenting plan, is that, from what I'm hearing from them is, and from their readings is, this would be fine if everybody followed the parenting plan, but people aren't doing that. And so I'll have you respond to that.
Probably true. However, my daughter fears for her children.
Okay.
I could have submitted the forensic interview, which shows that the children said that, their father was in them. I could have turned in the therapist's letters.
Okay,
showing
I'm going to stop you for a second because I said on all that. That's not in my court, basically. What happened is there's a parenting plan in place that apparently was ordered by a judge someplace else. And until that parenting plan's changed, that's a court order that you need to follow. And I can clear for me that you don't like that. And I'm going to assume, maybe incorrectly, that all this was brought up in when the parenting plan was litigated, but the judge decided to do what the judge did, and then that's the situation you're in right now.
Well, my daughter, she's in hiding from all of this. She's not with us anymore. So,
well, here's what's today, ma'am, based on, I read the definition. I read it a couple of times. Yes, there was conflict and high emotions going on there when all this went down. And, but the part of the harassment statute that I'm going to kind of latch onto, which is basically you're getting someone that serves no legal or lawful purpose. Like you're just intentionally bugging someone for whatever reason, just to harass them and bother them. I don't think the Smithlins are doing that. Yes, there's been conflict when they come out there, but frankly kind of had me when you say that's probably true. When I say if everybody just follows the parenting plan, none of this would have happened. And I didn't put the parenting plan in place. I don't know what that judge considered when he or she did that, but that's the parenting plan. That's the law of that case, and that needs to be complied with. And you can make motions, or your daughter can make motions to adjust all that. I've read somewhere that she's been held in contempt by a court for not following the parenting plan, which is not great. But that's where, so you would ask for an order, you and Mr. Austin asked for an order, and just based on the facts in front of me, I just don't think this is an appropriate case for me to issue an anti-harassment order.
Even with them pulling guns and
they're showing the hostility here. Now that is for the police to come into, not them. And for what the police have done, they tried to serve, and of course they did it peacefully. These people are trying to do it for you.
And they can, maybe that's something they can do, is they can take another look at how they serve you and maybe make an effort not to have contact. But again, based on the record in front of me, I'm not going to enter an order in this case. And I may have said this once before. I said this once before today on a different case, but I'd like everybody, and the actual parents of this child aren't even here. I guess I just like it if everybody stood back and thought about what they're teaching this child. And that's, and I don't know any of you. I've never met you. I've never met this child. I've never met your children, but I can assure you that this is not having a positive impact on that child one way or the other.
Oh, I agree.
But again, that's beyond me. That's a family court thing. I'm a district court judge for a reason. I don't do the family court thing. But with regard to the harassment, again, I'm just not going to enter an order at this time. And again, like I know I said this, neither one of you folks are going anywhere. You're the grandparents of this child, and you will be forever. And you should learn how to get along and work together. And maybe there's some intractable issues, but you were saying that there was some molestation going on. I heard from the Smithlins and their recommendation that was unfounded. But we live in the real world, and you need to address this in a realistic way. And like I say, at this point, I don't find that, yes, there was conflict, but I don't find that an order is appropriate. So I'm not going to enter an order here today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then you're all free to leave the Zoom call. And I hope folks can work together for the betterment of this child and their parents. Both of them might need some assistance as well, but it doesn't help things when the grandparents are at loggerheads there, I don't think. But that's it for today. You all are free to leave the Zoom call. You too there, Mr. Yeagley.
Thank you.
You can get a copy of the denial order off the website.
Okay. Have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And how is it you need an order against Ms. I'm going to get the names. I had a number of names here today. Risto.
I am her ex-caregiver, and she's my ex-client. We had worked together for over a year, and during that time had no problems and became friends. Towards the end, she was dealing with a mental health crisis, and I dealt with what they call in the caregiving world, the caregiving burnout. I gave a 2-week notice. I worked the 2-week notice. We cried and hugged and left on good terms. 2 days later, she's spreading rumors in our community of how I had stole from her, how I was bad to her, all these things that were not true in my situation. And I worked for another client directly across the parking lot from her and did the whole time I worked for her. So she was aware that I worked there. And I seen her taking pictures of my car, and I don't know where she is in her mental health journey, and I don't know if she's a danger to me.
Ms. Risto. Actually, before you do that, I have another question for you.
Sure.
You said you're not going to be working in your petition. You said
My client that lives across the way is moving.
Okay. So how many more appointments do you have to be there?
The end of this month, I think they're done, but a little bit more cleanup. She's has a care. That client has a care team, and she's I'm trying to make it so I don't have to go back over there because of the tension and everything that's going on.
Ms. Risto, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear to affirm in the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. So what's I saw your expression, or series of expressions
Yeah.
when Ms.
Yeah.
Dalton was saying that, that she thought that the parting was amicable, which means friendly. I guess I shouldn't speak Latin. But what's your perspective on that? Most of these cases, when they come for me, there's really no mystery as to what's going on. You heard about all this stuff. People in the neighborhood can't get along. Grandparents fighting over a grandchild. We've kind of heard the whole lot here this morning. This one, I got to be honest with you, I can't figure this one out. So what, from your perspective, what's going on here?
Well, I understand and agree with some of what Ms. Dalton has said, characterizing.
Okay, well, you can tell me what parts and you agree with and what parts you don't.
She did work for me for approximately a year to a year and a half, in that range.
She said it went well.
It did.
Okay. So
I
why are
thought-
we here?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, she says that you're saying not nice things about her to people, and it's getting back to her, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I have not contacted Ms. Dalton.
No, I know that, but
I
that's
have
not what I
looked
said.
at Ms. Dalton.
What's that?
I have not looked at Ms. Dalton.
Right.
I've been either in my apartment or in my parking lot or trying to catch up with all the details of my life that kind of fell apart when I lost a caregiver suddenly while I was in hospital being treated for what they called a bipolar and OCD condition. And I would add anxiety to that.
So you didn't like it much when she left. Is that fair to say?
No.
Well, again, my question was, are you bad mouthing her to other people,
No.
insulting? Okay, all right.
No.
You taking pictures of her car?
I took 3 pictures of her car.
Why?
To show to my caseworker, because I was so shocked at the carelessness of parking so close that I can literally see her parked car with the green bumper sticker in the middle from my porch.
So again, why? I don't understand why that's a problem.
I was leaving my apartment on October 3rd.
Mhm.
And it was approximately, I would guess, right around 10:30 to 11:30, in that range of time, to try to go and access the things that I need from my recent discharge from hospital.
Right. So I guess why? Okay, I don't understand why you were taking pictures of the car. I still don't.
I was shocked and instantly afraid, but then when I thought about it, I just thought,
Well,
that's so strange. That's just such an odd place for her to choose to park when there are lots of uncovered spaces, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't go into that parking lot. I don't go to the other client's apartment, parking lot, or property. But during our time working together, Ms. Dalton did share to me that she liked walking over the dirt slope between our apartments on Limited Lane.
Do you know that she has other people she was a caregiver for other folks in that complex or area?
I'm not aware of her being a caregiver for anybody else except for myself and the other client in the other apartment complex.
So my understanding is the reason that she was parking there is because she was seeing that other client. That's what I got.
You're right.
So does that explain her presence?
It does.
Okay. So I don't understand why that's such a big concern.
Well, because Ms. Dalton.
And why you would be afraid of that.
During
of
the
all
course
people.
of I'll explain to you, sir.
Okay.
During the course of our working relationship, Angie also shared with me that she had developed sort of a little acquaintanceship with the woman across the hall of my apartment complex, who she then chose to put a Ring camera on my door. I will guarantee you that sometimes I can be unpleasant. And sometimes my neighbor might even hear me being unpleasant. But there's an implied threat in her unsigned note that she shoved under my door virtually the same day that.
What's the note say?
It says, I can see the men that you have coming in and out of your house at night, and I can hear you with them.
Okay, so hang on. Who put that note there?
The woman across the hall, but she didn't sign it.
Okay. So let me come back to you, ma'am. Have you had any contact with her since you left? Has she called you?
Not since September 5th, the first week of September.
Right. And so then basically
That was my
this
last
just
shift.
basically comes around of her taking pictures and, talking to other people.
Yeah, and in my defense, she knew I worked for that client because I thought they might have known each other years ago at a pub they used to both go to, and I even sent
Right.
pictures. Long story short, my other client uses a wheelchair, and that spot's the closest to their front door.
All right. So here's what's going to happen today, ma'am, for everybody. First of all, again, I could probably heard me read this a few times. I won't read it again. The definition of harassment is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person. And usually it's directed at the person. And frankly, ma'am, Ms. Dalton, if she's talking to other people about you, there's nothing I can do about that.
I understand
And
that.
then sometimes people who own businesses or restaurants, so they'll ask for these orders and say, tell them to take down that Yelp review. Well, I can't do that.
Sure.
And I think that, Ms. Risto, just talking to you gently, generally, and gently, sometimes people just move on from things. He was your caregiver and apparently it went well, but people can move on, which she did. And there's no reason for you to take pictures of her car. I still don't, I'll be frank with you, I still don't understand quite why that happened. But nonetheless, I'm not going to enter an order here today, but because she's going to be gone in a month, and then you won't even have to worry about it. But yeah, you said these are your words, not mine. I can be unpleasant from time to time. You might want to think about that and that attitude when you talk about Ms. Dalton's her service, because it sounds like it went well. And why don't you focus on the positive? How about that?
I agree.
All right. That's what's happening for today. I'll give you copies of this. If you want to wait, I'll give you copies right now.
Yes, please.
You okay there, man?
I'm experiencing the symptoms of tachycardia
Okay. I'm sorry.
because of stress and
Is there
my
anything? Well,
diabetes.
again,
My blood sugar is over 300 because of stress. I have not eaten this morning. I have taken my insulin. My blood sugar ought to be
okay.
fine, but
Well,
it's not.
I hope, ma'am, again, I'm just going to end with this. I hope what we're doing today, not entering an order, I hope that relieves some of that stress for you.
Is that the same as it's being dismissed?
Yes.
Thank you.
You can get copies of this in just a minute. Good luck to you both.
That's fine. She can go first.
Just wait a minute, ma'am. We'll call you up here in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It doesn't happen.
I don't
That
care who
machine. You'll
goes
hear it.
first. I don't care who goes first.
Okay, I misunderstood. Yep.
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay, and then we have the Delgados. We have Alfredo and Alfredo and Claudia. Who's Claudia? That's you, ma'am. And then they're the petitioners. And then Gennaro is the respondent in the other case, correct? Yeah, come on up. Everybody come on. Everybody who needs to come up, come up. What's your name, ma'am? Or you just? Okay, are you listed as a named, yes, you're Destiny Flores, okay. So come on up, take seats. So. Okay, and you folks all live in the same establishment, so to speak?
We are.
Okay, so hang on just a minute, we're gonna. All right, I might have to kind of go around the horn here because this is kind of complicated to me. So, again, remind me who you are, ma'am?
I'm Claudia Alvarez.
Okay. You're Claudia Alvarez, and then next to you is Alfredo, is that correct? Okay, and then you're Gennaro and Destiny, okay. And then on the Zoom call there, we have, okay, so we'll start with you folks, Claudia and Alfredo. And again, actually, Claudia, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go, and then, so do you live in this, it's a trailer park, is that correct?
Mobile home park.
You put your hand out. Do you live there?
I don't currently, but we do own a mobile home that we are currently leasing to a family member.
Okay, is that,
Yeah.
are they the family member?
No.
Okay,
they're
okay, the
not in-
family member is not a part of this particular,
They're not currently here.
okay. And so, and then you're Gennaro and Destiny, and who wants to speak? Gennaro, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. And then, you folks live in the trailer park, correct?
Yes.
Do you own the orange truck?
It's red.
Red,
Yes.
okay, well, the video, okay, that's your truck,
Yes.
okay. And so then, and then Lorenzo, who wants to speak with you folks? I'm gonna, whoever wants to, who wants to speak first?
My wife can speak first. I can speak next. And I have my sons here. My youngest son, he's 11, and my daughter, that he's 17. If they'll be able to speak, they would like to speak too.
Not going to take testimony from an 11-year-old. Basically, I'm just not going to do that because I'm not going to have a child that young testify in front of their parents among the obvious pressure that's placed on them. And I'm just not going to do that. I mean, we're an adult court. Everybody can act like adults. And frankly, I think this should be worked out by the adults. But so I'm not going to do that, but thank you. So Ms. Pierce, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And so how did all this start? And so Ms., I'm going to start with you, Ms. Pierce. You're asking for orders against each other. And you know, this is a situation which is not all that uncommon, and that I ask from time to time, and the answer is usually the same, is like, it seems like you all want the same thing. You want them to stay away from you. They want you to stay away from them. What do you need me for? And then the answer I always get from everybody is, it's not me, it's them. So and that's, I expect I'll get that from everyone. And so, but I'm going to start with you, Ms. Pierce. How is it that you need an order against, again, I think the Delgados?
We only filed for an order against Gennaro because he's the only one that's been harassing us.
Okay, Gennaro, and that's you, is that correct? Okay, thank you. And you're Alfredo, and Alberto's not even here.
He's on the Zoom.
I'm not sure if he's on Zoom.
Yeah, I am. He's not.
Earlier. He had a court earlier, so I
Okay.
think he was confused as
Okay.
to which court he had to
Oh, I bet that was AG. Yeah, we had someone on there, AG, and I didn't know who
Yeah.
that was. Okay, so Ms. Pierce, what's the story?
So this originally all started probably about 5 years ago when my boyfriend Lorenzo was backing out of the driveway. Gennaro came into our street pretty fast and started honking the horn and revving his engine at him because he didn't like that he had to wait for him to finish backing out of the driveway. So my boyfriend did say something to him that he needed to slow down. And so that's what started this whole harassment thing. Originally, he was only
So
harassing
this
my
has been
boyfriend.
going on for 5 years?
Yeah, and he didn't start bothering me until 2022, which I did submit an email to you, that when I had spoke with the previous manager we had, he asked me to email everything that had happened. And then he did come out on a few occasions and have a conversation with Gennaro after he had saw how fast he would drive too when he was here. That manager has moved to Oregon now and is no longer the manager of our property. So our current manager, Olivia, we've been in contact with her numerous times. She asked us to keep writing incident reports to submit to her. She's mentioned about possibly an eviction to him, which we originally said, you know, that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking to evict anybody. We just want him to stop harassing us.
By harassing, what do you mean by harassing? I mean, it's going too fast?
No, like if we're backing out of the driveway, then he gets annoyed. Even if we've looked both ways and he's not coming yet, if he happens to be coming on our road from Martin Way, he does come in pretty fast to where we're not fully out of our driveway yet or able to turn to be out of his way. He comes by revving up his truck. He has swerved his vehicle at my children. He has swerved his vehicle at my 11-year-old while he's standing out waiting for the bus. He's flipped my daughter off and made a comment to her about just wait. And we had debated for a while to even get an anti-harassment order, but after what he did to my son at the bus stop, and I called and made a police report, the officer that came out and spoke with us suggested that we do get one. They're all very familiar with this family, and we should try and stay away from them, and they probably won't leave us alone if we don't get one.
How old's your son?
He's 11.
And what happened there?
He was waiting for the bus with his friends, and Gennaro came by and swerved his vehicle towards him and then sped off onto Martin Way. The week prior to that, my two 17-year-olds were walking back to our house from a neighbor's house, and he pulled quickly out of his driveway and swerved his vehicle towards them as well.
Okay.
We also submitted a video of him stopping in front of our house and backing up and just staring at my boyfriend and my son while they were out there waiting for the bus.
Okay. I saw the video. I might look at them again. Okay. And so then Mr. Hernandez, do you wish to add anything to what Ms. Pierce just said?
Oh, you just
Could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down.
So like my girlfriend said, it started like in around 2019 on probably about May. What she said is what happened, and from that day on, it's just a non-stop. Like he calls me every time he goes by, he revs his engine really hard, and like he's like he spin the wheels, and then he calls me like you pussy, you bitch. He flips me off, and he used numerous occasions, and like we used complain to the manager. We never, went like about anything else. But since he started doing it to the youngest ones, then we start calling the cops, and we got reports from the cops, and we got all the evidence that we have. We submitted, and all it is just that we just want to live in peace. And this guy does not stop. Gennaro does not stop. He doesn't know how to stop. He thinks it's funny. He thinks when he swerved on my kid and when he stopped in front of us and he just literally looked at us and intimidating us, he used a smile like it's funny. It's not funny when my kid it's scared of him. He can't even go outside because we hostel on our own place because this guy does not stop. He does not, and he smiles like it's funny.
I just want to ask what's going on. All right. Let me hear from, I guess we'll go around. Give me just a second here. I'm going to swear in all the folks who are here in court, both Gennaro and Destiny. And Alfredo, and Claudia. And I'll guess we'll start with Alfredo. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand, and hang on just a second. Give me just a minute. I need to go ahead. I'll hear from you. You're asking for an order against them.
Right.
And you don't live there.
I would like to let our wife speak first, and I will be second.
Okay. So Ms. Again, Ms. Alvarez Mojica, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Have you own a place there?
We do.
Have you lived there?
We do.
When was the last time you lived there?
We moved out the end of 2019, I believe.
So you haven't been there in 5 years?
No, we haven't currently resided there, but we do have family members there. We do
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it too much. I can.
We do own a property there.
Right.
We're leasing it, so we are there quite
In and
often.
out?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And-
what's been your interaction with Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Pierce?
So Mr. Hernandez, I'm asking for this protection order, or just, no communication on their end, because not really sure when all this started. They're saying it started.
Apparently
then
5 years
under that.
ago.
Yeah. So my issue with them is just that they're continuously harassing us, at this
Like
point
how
stalking
so?
us. So there's been incidents where they come out and they yell at us, yell at my husband, yell at my brother-in-laws. The kids are
What do they
present.
say?
They just start antagonizing, cussing at them, saying, get a job, cussing bad words at them in front of children. There has been an instance where Mr. Hernandez pulled a gun, not fully out of his holster, but just flashed him in front of the children when they got into an altercation. That's when I feared for my safety, my kids' safety, because they do play in the same neighborhood. They are actually friends with his 11-year-old, so I'm not really sure if this 11-year-old is afraid of us. He comes around us, never once showed fear to be around us. So this is very disheartening to see that these allegations that are being made towards us are false. And there has been an instance where I feel like he does encourage this behavior from his children as well, as the cops were called at me, on me and my children at a fast food restaurant, just because there is a protection order with some minors in the family. And I assumingly believe
Explain
that.
to me.
Yeah, so they're with his daughter and my husband's sister, there was his daughter physically assaulted his sister.
I was going to ask about that. Is
Yeah.
that the video?
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just like an example of them coming out of their way to assault us. So
So
they
hang
do
on
live
just a
close to
second.
the
So
entrance.
his daughter assaulted your sister?
Correct. Yes,
And is there an order in place?
there is currently, yes.
Okay, so hang on a second. How old is that child, is your daughter?
My
Your daughter?
sister-in-law,
Your sister,
16 years old.
16, and how old is his daughter?
I'm not sure, I believe 17.
Is there a criminal case on that?
So I don't think that they have filed, there
What
was
about
just,
the order?
they both, so his daughter originally, I think,
Right.
tried to, and then the judge did grant orders on
Was that
both.
here?
At the
Family court?
juvenile.
Oh, juvenile,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
So because of this order, I did go to Dairy Queen where I go all the time. I wasn't aware that the minor worked there. I placed my order. Then I was told, oh, your order's not ready. Can you please park? Which was the first time this has ever happened to me. So I was like, okay, sure. I proceeded to take a restroom break because I was taking my kids to soccer. About 20 minutes had gone by and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I go in and I'm like, hey, like, is my order ready? I have to get going. And he's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, we just burnt your burger. I was like, okay, that's, totally fine. I go back out and a cop pulls up behind me and they're like, she came at me. She was very sweet. What's your name? She, interrogated me. It's like, well, who are you with? I'm like, I'm just with my children. I'm on my way to soccer practice. What's this all about? And she's like, well, we had someone from inside call saying that you were violating a protection order. And I'm like, I was completely unaware of what was even going on.
Okay, the protection order, who has the protection order?
It's the younger
Are they
girls.
mutual?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think that on her end, she has to leave if they're
Okay.
So my issue is that they're going out of their way to inconvenience us when I
I'm not involved. I'm not doing anything. So I just want them to, I guess, have no contact with us and take pictures of us and stop with the false allegations.
So do you have anything you wish to add?
Yes. So I stand by my wife's statement. I also would like to add that happened to me once. It was actually my two brothers. It was Gennaro and Alberto. And a friend of mine were at the dispensary actually, and two cops pulled up and started questioning us. It's like asking Gennaro and me that we're related. And I was like, yeah, we are. What is this all about? So the cops started saying that they took a video of Gennaro doing donuts at a sports complex. I was like, well, I would like to see a picture of the truck.
I saw that.
And it was not the same truck at all. So in a way, they're stalking us, harassing us, and it's not all right. You know, I happen to hang out with him, and they're coming after me when, taking my time.
Okay. So let me thank you. You can stand by for a minute. And then Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Pierce, you're only asking for an order against Mr. Delgado, correct?
Yes.
Gennaro. Okay. So now I'm going to hear from, did you see that video that is, again, Mr. Hernandez, was that, so your daughter, again, was it your daughter and his sister who had the conflict?
Yes.
So apparently your daughter's had conflict with the sister of, again, and you two are brothers?
Yes.
Okay, so your daughter has had conflict with Mr. Gennaro's sister, correct?
Yeah, there's already been addressed to the court.
And there's video, but there's video there where basically, which is not a great video, I got to be honest with, but the person in Soli is not even here. So, but anyway, I just wanted to affirm that there has been conflict. What was the source? I'll ask you. I guess I could ask anyone, but since I'm talking to you, what was the source of that conflict? Why were they getting into it?
That started after their brother Alberto came onto our property and punched my boyfriend Lorenzo in the face, which they got into a verbal altercation because Alberto and their sister, who lives across the street from us, boyfriend, decided to follow Vanessa on her way to work and pull up next to her and ask her if she has a problem or what her problem is.
I just wanted to know. You kind of explained it to me.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm going to hear from Gennaro Delgado. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And what's your, again, they're just asking for an order. No one's asking for an order against them. You're asking for an order against them. They are asking for an order against you. So I'd ask you to address both. Again, it's not me, it's them.
Yeah. No, like they said, it all started 5 years ago or so like that.
Right.
And it died out. And then, like they said, my brother Alberto and him got in an altercation. When he pulled out a gun on my brother and me. Because he's the one always initiating everything. Like, oh, where's your brother? Where's Gennaro? Tell him to come here. He has the big balls. He has this, that. He's always just starting everything, and he's playing the victim always. And then since he flashed the gun, it died out, right? And then his daughter assaulted my sister. And then from there, it just started all over, harassing me, the whole family, like calling the cops, making up lies. Like,
what about the driving pattern?
Yeah,
I heard from him.
I was walking down my house, getting ready. I believe I was going to the gym, and I saw perfectly everything was going on. He set up his child in front of the road. I thought he was taking pictures before school, right? And you see me driving out perfectly fine. And when I thought he was taking pictures, then he directs his phone towards me. I noticed that he's recording me. I'm like, what the heck? So I backed out. I'm like, what's your problem? Like, why are you recording me? Like, it's not normal, like, So, and then I just drove off. And then I think I forgot my AirPods or something. And I came back to my house and I got it. And then I was heading back towards the gym. And his child is positioned where I gotta exit, right here. And I honked at him so he can move out of my way. And that's all that happened. Okay. That's all that has happened. Whatever else they're saying, it's all lies. Like, I don't feel comfortable. I know he has a weapon on him. He flashed it out on us. I mean, my brother before. I have a 5-year-old a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old that play outside every day, and I'm outside playing with them, watching them every day.
Do you say the kids get along with his kid?
That's
That's them. Okay, I'm sorry for being confused.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, I'm outside every day watching my 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and 8-year-old every day. They play outside. It's just one long pattern all the way. So there's a lot of kids that play right there, and I'm watching them. And
all right,
so
let me hear from Destiny. Destiny.
I guess I'm scared
Okay, wait a minute. You're gonna raise your right hand first, just like everyone else. Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down.
Okay, I guess I'm scared because a lot of his stories are not true. He has a picture of my car. He took a picture of my car when I wasn't even living there. I parked my car there to pick my kids up from the school bus, and he took a picture saying that I didn't want to move my car. I would have moved if I heard somebody say, hey, can you move your car? I would have moved my vehicle. At the time, me and Gennaro weren't even together. So me retaliating against him wouldn't have happened because I didn't even know about the situation. I just moved in, and now I'm seeing everything that they're doing to us. Like the other day, me and Gennaro were outside in the car, and his son is just glaring at us. Like if they want to start issues with us, like they're antagonizing us for no reason. And I'm scared because my kids play outside, and I don't know if they're going to retaliate against my kids, but they keep calling the cops on us for no reason and lying.
Okay. So on the, someone, again, let me tell you which case. There's a series of texts here, I think it was submitted by you folks. The text about watch your back.
I think that's between the girls. I think that's between the girls.
Which, between
but I
his
think,
daughter and their sister.
yes, but I do believe that in the text it shows that the reason why their daughter decided to target their sister was because of the altercation between the father and the brother. So there was no reason. So I believe we submitted that just to show that how far their family's willing to go to kind of keep, targeting us and
All right, thank you. I just wanted to know. I want to know who those texts were from.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Hernandez, I want to come back to you. Somebody mentioned a gun. What's the story on that?
Yeah, Your Honor, I used think they tried. So we submitted the protection order on Wednesday of last week, and the following Monday they submitted theirs. So this is just their tactic of trying to get us back, like saying that.
No, I'm asking. I understand. I know how that works. Believe me.
I don't know. I don't know where they're coming with. There's not videos. There's no pictures of me pulling.
No,
anything.
I'm not. I know there's not. He said that you had flashed a gun. I'm saying, is that true or not? I mean, everybody's
no, Your Honor. I don't flash no gun, and I do have my gun on me on my waist because that's my Second Amendment right. I can bear my guns wherever. I don't flash them because I'm really responsible about. I'm really responsible having my gun. So, yeah, Your Honor, that's just lies. That's just lies.
All right, he wants to say something. Go ahead.
How would I know that he has a gun and it's silver and he has it in a black holster? How would I know? And he did not flash it. He pulled it out and he put it back in. So he didn't just flash it. He pulled it out. How would I know that he has a weapon and what color it is?
Ms. Pierce, did you want to say something? It sounds like you want to.
I mean, I pretty much said what I want to say. I think it's pretty obvious that they're coming after us because we submitted a order against their brother. I have never, ever said anything to one of them. I didn't even know what Alfredo looked like till I saw a picture of him last week. I have never bothered these people, not one time.
Okay, so Mr. Gotta remember who everyone's Mr. Alvarez Mojica. No, you're Alvarez Mojica. He's Mr. Delgado. Sorry.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something?
Right. Another one that made me more go get the restraining order against these guys is because they're that toxic that they're willing to go into social media and stalk us. They went to their social media and trying to allegate that he has guns, that, they're scared of him. Like, they can do the same thing. Why would they go to their social media, like, to get at him from years and years ago? We're talking, like, 5 years or so. Like, that's toxic, We don't want that in our lives. So if they stay away from our family, that'll be best. Because I can assure you and promise you, we're a quiet family. We stick together, and we have never had any problems like this until they got in our lives and started,
Okay, so Mr. Gennaro wants to speak. I'll hear from him and then I'll come back to you folks for the last word here. And then, I'll tell you what my thoughts are. Go ahead.
Yeah, his daughter doesn't even live there, so I would just like if she just not go there no more and stop bothering me and my whole family, because she just went there and like you saw the video of her opening my sister's car while she was driving.
I saw
That's
that.
not okay. She could have caused a great.
Okay, she's not a party to any of this.
So yeah.
How old's your daughter though, Mr. Hernandez? I'm curious.
She's 17, Your Honor.
All right.
And I have custody of her with papers, so she does live here. I can prove.
No,
to
that's
the court.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. But and so the third brother who's not here, he was the one who fought with Mr. Hernandez, correct? What was that fight about?
Apparently, Mr. Hernandez, I don't know what caused him to come out and start yelling profanities at him. The mobile home that we own is across from this.
I can ask you, Mr. Hernandez, do you remember that altercation?
Yes, Your
From your
Honor.
perspective, which I expect to be completely different. How did that happen?
That was because he was harassing my daughter, and they always their sister lives across the street from us, and so these three families, the three of their families plus Alfredo, that they come and they all get together. So whatever. So what happened is Alberto was harassing my daughter Vanessa, and so he was outside. He was drinking or whatever. So I was outside. We exchanged words. So that was it. So as soon as his brother Gennaro showed up and his brother-in-law showed up, then he crossed the street from his sisters to my property and punched me in my face. And that's when we have police reports about everything. We got evidence about everything. We don't just say or accuse anybody of anything. We have proof, Your Honor.
So so have you all lived there for that? So you lived there since 2019?
I've been there for like 10 years on and off, like 6 years straight.
Okay. And then you guys moved there in 2019?
No, 2015.
2015.
Okay. All right. Yes.
If I can end today, would be super amazing.
Okay.
You don't want to have court dates coming
No.
back for little things here and there.
Yeah, everybody. Okay.
Everyone left alone, not to bother us, not to follow us. Just don't even look at our way.
Well,
We'll do the same.
here's where I'm at on this. First of all, everybody who ever comes to court wants the same thing, in the sense that they want to leave and they never want to have to come back. And for whatever reason, you folks have never gotten along. There's been physical altercations between Mr. Hernandez and one of the Delgados, Mr. Hen's daughter, and one of the Delgado sisters. There's Mr. Hernandez saying, well, he drives his car in a reckless. And I have to tell you, though, I hear what you're saying, and I know you don't have video of every single time that truck went out. When it was submitted to me, I did. Maybe I'm missing it, but I didn't see a real problem with the way, the donut's not great, but then you said that wasn't your car. But, the one thing, here's where I'm at. Mr. Delgado had said that they just want all this to stop and they just want to let all this stuff go. I'm assuming you folks are the same. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I'm
we
speaking
just
to you.
want them left alone.
Right.
And our
So-
kids not to be bothered.
That's what they're saying. They want the same thing. So this is going to go one of two ways. And that is, I'm either going to deny all of these or I'm going to grant all of these everywhere, cross against each other. And I guess I would just go around the horn here and say, what's the best course of action? If you think you need court orders to remind yourselves to stay away from the other person, they will be granted. If all of you think you're mature enough to, everybody, you can just say, okay, we can recognize this has just gone too far. Let's just everybody relax. And we really don't need the court orders right now. We'll go that way. And so I guess I'll get some input from you folks first and then just kind of go around the horn. What do you think? And I'm talking to you, Ms. Yes, on Ms. Pierce and Mr. Hernandez.
I know I'm mature enough. I've never done anything to begin with, so I know that I can keep to myself.
What about you, Mr. Hernandez?
Yeah, I mean, I keep it to myself most of the time. I don't do anything. I keep it to myself. I got other things to do, Your Honor. I'm mature enough to, I'm a man, I'm a grown-up man to do the right thing. If I'm in the same boat. If they said, then okay, you stay your side, I stay mine, and the end of the story.
Mr. Gennaro, what say you?
I mean, as long as they leave me alone, they're the ones who started all this problem. That's why we're here.
Well, they say the same thing about you.
Yeah, if they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. We'll continue this. I mean, I've never.
Destiny?
I agree. If they leave us alone, I'll leave them alone.
All right. You mentioned, I know, I just have to check there. There's so many people involved in this.
I understand, Judge. I agree. If this can all just
All right.
cease, I would be more than happy to continue and handle this like adults.
So, what, I guess I better hear from you also.
Oh, no, for sure. Let's
All
hope for the best and not to be back here for sure.
Okay. So I'm going to come back to you. And that is, and these are going to be my parting words. So I'll tell everybody, I mean, frankly, I mean, you all seem like nice people to me. And so, and I know that there's been a lot of conflict out there. So I'm not going to enter any orders here today, but that's without prejudice in the sense if there's additional conflict, one or both of you can bring this back. Life is better when you're living it without orders. It just is, because you don't have to look over your shoulder all the time and all of that. You need to learn how to drive. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And so, and I don't have any video of you speeding through there, but I can look at your ADR and I know that you're no stranger to speeding tickets. So learn how to drive and be respectful of children in the driveway. You understand that?
Yeah, I have.
You know, and again, an harassment order won't address that, but, and I think you all need to live in a way that doesn't instigate or aggravate the other party. Don't honk. Just wait patiently and assume that someone's going to move out. They'll see you and they'll move out of the way, or say something like, excuse me, or something like that, and say in a nice way. Do you understand that? All right. That's what we're going to do here for today. So no orders are going to be entered, but if there's any other problems, you can bring it back. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all free to go. You can get copies of these off the Zoom call. You've all said that you can leave each other alone. So let's live up to everyone's word, shall we?
I hope so, yes.
I agree, sir.
You may go.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're getting copies where?
We'll get copies. You can get copies off the district court website, or you can get emailed to you.
Okay. Yep, thank you.
You can go.